And
Yeah.
so as moms, as wives, as women, as creatives, we have to be understanding of, well, navigating emotionally, what season are you in? Because
Right.
there are seasons where your role as mom is the most important thing. And
Yeah.
it's okay that other things are taking what feels like a back burner, or you're not showing up in excellence there, because you will be honored for the thing that you're doing that ultimately is connected to your legacy. And so, for us to be intentional, for us to be present, for us to operate from a place of rest, we have to have, talk about voiceless to volume, we have to have the volume up on our discernment, on what
Mm.
is our body saying to us in this season. What are we hearing? Whether it's that intuition, if you want to call it that,
I
that
love
gut
intuition.
instinct,
Yeah.
right? That's what we call the Holy Spirit. But all of these things aligned in that, you now have the volume up there versus the volume up on society, the volume up on social media, the volume up on the news, the volume up on your kids are way too loud because you need to handle, like, whatever it is. We allow the volume to be so high that we can't
Mhm.
even direct ourselves or be directed because the volume's so high. So if we have that intimate experience with ourselves, if we actually love ourselves, then we're going to actually operate from a place of love and rest, rather than from a needy place of affirmation of, I'm looking for love in all of these
Validation.
places.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's so critical, but it takes time to get to that
Yeah.
place, and
Yeah.
ultimately accountability. Like, I'm sure if Natalie and I were in that season together, she'd be like, girl, where are you at? And even today, like, just to have someone who is accountable to what it is that are you're being asked to do in this season. Hey, hey,
Yeah.
hey, why are you doing that thing? Like, I thought we were
Exactly.
here and not there. But volume is also connected to vulnerability,
Mm.
right? And so we have to
Mm.
be aware that as we start to share that thing, and we're sharing it from a vulnerable place, that's when true accountability, when true community starts to build around you, when true connection starts to happen with those around you. Because when I had my volume up on everything else and my volume was down on me, Natalie, I didn't even know who I was. I was what
Exactly.
everyone else wanted me to be. I was a chameleon. I had a mask on. I was exhausted. Because what do you need from me? Okay, I'll be that thing. Oh, what do you need from me? Okay, I'll be that thing.
Yes.
That's when we go
And
crazy.
then the connections we're making when we're like that are not authentic and real and sustainable because we're not our real authentic selves. So we're just drawing in people who are drawn to whatever that energy is we're bringing off, that vibe, but
Yes.
that isn't the real vibe. And
No.
so a lot of those connections end up being unhealthy or whatever. And so it's this so it's so interesting because I'm seeing more like one of my clients gave me a affirmation card deck called the Rest deck. This woman
Ah, I love
she
that.
wrote a book called The Rest Revolution.
Great.
I know,
Okay.
and this was like maybe 2 years ago, and then somebody else I know just wrote a book called something with the rest word in it, and I'm like, I feel like as women who did what we did and do go grind, and they have their moment epiphany, they want to share with the world. Like
Yes.
I think it's becoming a not I wouldn't say a trend, but I'm definitely noticing like more and more like, oh, what how I used to operate. Yeah, when it gets me so far, this is not the way to keep going.
No.
When we are younger, maybe it could serve us. I always say like there's something to be said to be motivated and being very action oriented. There's something there. Being a type A high achiever isn't a bad thing, but if you're doing that with just no sense of boundaries or
Yes.
intentionality, like you're saying, then it just goes all over the place. But
Yeah.
like so more women are becoming aware that they cannot keep on operating in that from that posture of the hustle mode or whatever you want to call it. And so it's just interesting, and that when we prioritize our need for rest, prioritize our need for like self-care and all the things, and we thrive, that we're actually better. We do better because our cup is full.
Yes.
Like our cup is really full. Versus like when we in that other mode, we literally have nothing in our cup. We literally like empty, just
Yep.
like, oh my gosh.